Yo, what is up, y'all? My name is Robert Donaldson, and welcome back to another edition of Rob's Best Bets. And in this video, we are once again talking about college hoops. And on Wednesday, we went 5-4 against the spread, so over 500, ended up dropping like decimal units, basically a break-even day. And largely that was just because our 3-unit plays did not come through for us. UMKC dead upon arrival. ECU dead, Notre Dame DOA as well, but we did clean up with Boise State and ETSU for some of our bigger bets, and I really do feel like we are seeing the sport extremely well. And here on Thursday, we have an awesome slate. I mean, it's one of my favorite kind of midweek slates that we've had in quite some time, and I'm excited to get into those picks. But first, we do need to take a second to shout out today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. And if you aren't, you follow me over on Twitter/X at RobDFB. Make sure you're doing so because we do post our Underdog Fantasy Pick'em entry slips over there, and you guys can take part. We hit 4 of our 6 player entries on Wednesday, and that's kind of been the theme, and eventually we are going to get one to fall through the hoop. We've been doing a lot of 3-player entries, and it feels like on each slip we have 2 players that cash, 2 players that are 1 player that doesn't. And eventually, we are going to unify those and get a banger for you guys. But make sure you are using promo code RobDFB when you sign up. That'll get you guys a pretty sweet deposit match bonus. But with all that being said, y'all, I am jacked to get into these Thursday picks. All right, first up, we are heading out to the Big Ten, where we have Northwestern taking on Ohio State. And Ohio State last time out lost the big game on the hardwood as they dropped a home game against Michigan. And Northwestern last time out, they both played on Sunday. It was kind of an equally bad day for both teams because Northwestern had a 20-point second-half lead against Nebraska before losing that game outright by 4 in regulation. And I do think that Ohio State is at a point right now where they know how much these types of wins absolutely mean. I also think that they're a far better team than Northwestern. And at home, dropping 2 straight or even coming close to dropping 2 straight, I don't think that's in the cards here. So let's go ahead and lay the 10 points with Ohio State for 2 units for our first bet here on Thursday. For pick number 2, we are heading out to my favorite bet of the day. It's taking place in the Sun Belt, and it's going to be between App State and Georgia Southern, and this is the deeper than hate rivalry game. It's a big one on the football gridiron, and it's also a big game on the hardwood. And 13 of the last 14 games in this matchup have been decided by 10 points or less. And when you're looking at Georgia Southern, I do think they're a lot more competent than past years. But even when they've been down and had some really bad teams, they've still taken App State and some of their really good teams down to the wire and given us some classics in this game. And in this matchup, App State is laying 9.5 points. That is far too high in my opinion. And I do think that in this game, Georgia Southern is live on the money line. So let's go ahead and take the 9.5 points with Georgia Southern for 4 units. And for an additional full unit, let's go ahead and bet the full game money line here as well. For pick number 3, we're heading out to the CUSA, where we have New Mexico State taking on Jacksonville State, and this is another really fun game in this conference, and Jacksonville State has a really fun home court advantage as well, but when you're looking at New Mexico State, this is a game that I think that they really feel like they need. They are still playing really competitive down the stretch, and defensively, I've been really impressed by this team. Offensively, a little bit of a different story. At the same time, though, when you are playing on the road in this league in a tough environment, you're going to get the benefit of the doubt when it comes to the actual spread. And for that reason, I say we go ahead and take those 5.5 points for 2 units for our third bet here on Thursday. For pick number 4, we are heading out to the CAA, where we have Charleston taking on Northeastern. And Northeastern has been playing a lot better ball down the stretch, and vice versa for Charleston, because I think Charleston and Chris Mack are kind of going through the motions in conference play right now. They started off obviously so damn hot in this league, and especially in non-con as well, but it's really tapered off, and they have been playing a lot of close games against the likes of like an NCANT and other kind of teams that are in that similar tier. And I do think that Northeastern at home here is going to be able to get up for a big opponent and get it done against a team that isn't playing up to their level right now. So let's go ahead and take Northeastern, getting the 1.5 points for 2 units for our 4th bet here on Thursday. For pick number 5, we are heading out to the Big West, where we have Cal State Fullerton taking on UC Santa Barbara. And Santa Barbara really started the season off very slowly, but as of late, they have been turning it up. And Cal State Fullerton on the other side is one of those teams that just seemingly gets drubbed every single time they play up in this conference. And it's a hefty number of 15.5, but it is one that right now, with how these two teams are trending, I want to take part in. So let's go ahead and lay the 15.5 points here with UC Santa Barbara for 2 units for our 5th bet here on Thursday. For pick number 6, we are staying in the Big West, where we have a matchup between UC San Diego and Cal Poly. And listen, Cal Poly has been a very up and down team this year. They had that big win at Stanford where it kind of felt like they were turning a corner as a program, and I still think that they are. I mean, this Cal Poly team is absolutely better than years past, and it's a first-year head coach with DeGeorge at the helm, and I do think they're trending in the right direction, especially as of late, where they've won 4 of their last 6, and they've been doing so in pretty convincing fashion as well. And they're at home in this game for the first time, or the second time rather, in those last 6 games. And when you're looking at the other side with UC San Diego, this is a team that you have to really diagnose kind of what their psychology is at this point in the season, because they are pretty damn new to Division I hoops. And on top of that, they're at the very top of the standings. They're having a dream season, and eventually it always kind of feels like these types of teams have a stumble spot. And I do feel like Cal Poly has the makeup to really push the envelope and make it so, because they can put up a lot of points, especially in a game where the tempo is sitting in a good spot for them. And I do think they're live in this game. So let's go ahead and bet Cal Poly, getting the 14.5 points for 3 units. And for an additional full unit, let's go ahead and take the Mustangs on the full game money line here as well. All right, for our final play of the night, we are heading out to Santa Clara, where we have Loyola Marymount taking on the Santa Clara Broncos. And Santa Clara is coming into this matchup off of that heartbreaking loss to St. Mary's. And in addition, last time out when these two teams played each other on Loyola Marymount's court, Loyola Marymount ended up winning the game. And now you're seeing Santa Clara laying 11.5 points. Man, oh man, is that a steep price? And I think it's steep for a reason. I think Santa Clara comes out and wins this thing by 20 plus, or honestly, just name your score. I think they cover it. And for that reason, I say we go ahead and bet it for 3 units for our final play here on Thursday. All that being said, I really want to thank you guys for checking out today's video. And if you do want to show some love, make sure you drop a like in this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you comment down below. But with all that being said, y'all, I do want to let you guys know that I will not have a video for Friday's slate. That's going to be in text post form on my Twitter/X page at RobDFB. So if you are wondering where tomorrow's video is going to be for Friday's slate, just know that it's going to be over there. No video on YouTube. I just will not have the time tomorrow night. But with all that being said, y'all, I will see you in a future video. Take it easy.